As we start today's class, there are a couple things I hope to accomplish. One will be to check the answers to last night's homework. I'll be looking them over, but here are the answers for you to look at so that if there were some that gave you trouble or you just want to see how you did, you can look up the answers here and see. If there are any that need more clarification, our next class is when we can go over those. So again, please check your work. The second thing I want to accomplish today is to review for Friday's quiz. It's our first quiz of the marking period, and I'd like to go over those couple of topics. We're going to have the following on the quiz: expressions, the verbal, numeric and algebraic, and translations, simplifying using order of operations and the left to right rule, and evaluating the algebraic expressions when you're substituting in values and simplifying. Here starts our review. Look at these first two. If you'd like, pause and try them, and then check back. In this first one, I do see parentheses, exponents, and subtraction and multiplication. I'll start by working inside that parentheses because I see that I have an exponent in there that needs simplifying. I bring down everything else, and now I can simplify by subtracting what's inside my parentheses. I'm now going to get 13 minus 16, and I will subtract and get 7. In the second one, I also see parentheses and exponents. I'll do what's in parentheses first, and 12 minus 6 is 6. I'm going to multiply that times 5 squared, and if you recall, 5 squared just says I'm multiplying 5 times itself, and 5 times 5 is 25. Last, I have a multiplication, and that's going to give me 6 times 25, which is 150. So you'll see problems like this on the quiz. The second thing you'll see is the evaluations. I'll give you an algebraic expression. I'll give you some values to replace. So if g is equal to 2 and t is equal to 11, I now have a numeric expression that I can use my order of operations to simplify. One step at a time, and I get 68. 7 minus GR. So 7 minus 2 times 4. Well, 7 minus 8. And here we see that I'm getting a negative number, which is very possible. We haven't really discussed that, but I know you did last year. So the second thing you'll see on the quiz will be some evaluation problems. We talked about translating numeric and algebraic expressions into, or words, verbals, into numeric and algebraics. 7 decreased by the word decrease tells me to subtract. 7 decreased by 4 gives me this numeric expression. A number, some number, doesn't matter if I use n or x, some number increased by 9. That tells me increased by addition. Product, key word, the product of 12 and 6. That's 12 times 6. I don't have to simplify it, I just have to translate it. Quotient of a number and 3. The quotient of a number and 3 can be written like this or like that. A number squared, less 10. Well, a number squared could be n squared minus 10. Again, just a quick review, and we'll do another short review on Thursday since our quiz is on Friday. So those were our review topics. Today, I want to go, one more thing. Oops, I forgot there was one more thing. You should be able to give me an example of an algebraic expression or a numeric expression. So I might just simply say, give me an example. An algebraic example could be something like 2x, or could be 12 minus 5x. Those are algebraic expressions. Numeric can be just about anything. I could have 16 plus 4, or 8 times 7. Those are examples. So again, just knowing which is which and how to go about giving me an example. Now, in our last lesson, we talked about properties. We're going to come back to that, the other properties, but today we're going to just briefly look at the distributive property. Distributive property, once again, is something you've done before where there's a term multiplied by a sum, b plus c, or a difference, b minus c. We can then distribute or multiply that outside term times the inside terms. We use this to simplify expressions. Sometimes we need it in helping to solve equations. So here are our practice problems. We're going to take the 6 and multiply it once. 6 times 4x will be 24x. 6 times 5 will be 30. 2 multiplications, that's what we have. 9 times x, 9x. 9 times that 7, 63. Try the next two. I've got 8 times 3x will give me 24x. 8 times this negative 4 will give me minus 32. I did something a little different in the fourth problem. I put a variable on this outside factor. When we multiply, we have to add exponents, so this will give me 20x squared, and this will give me a negative 24x. The last two problems. In these last two problems, again, pause, try them, and we'll come back and check. So in this next problem, you see that instead of a algebraic expression, I have a numeric, but I can still distribute. You know that to simplify this one, you could either use order of operations or distribution. But since this section is distribution, we'll do 7 times 3, which is 21, and 7 times 11 is 77, and then we'll go ahead and add, and that will give us 98. This last one on this slide has a negative, so that means it's going to change the signs and multiply, change the sign and multiply. We're going to go into much more detail on this in our next session, but for now, that's really all I want to cover. I do want to do a little bit more with the talking about combining like terms as well, but I'm going to save that for our next session. So today there's a little practice, and I'll see you next class. Thanks.